Right, this is section 1-2, order of operations, evaluating expressions. This should be for Algebra 1. What is the order of operations and which operations can be performed at the same time? That's the essential question. And let's begin. Order of operations. Write this down on the left. This is the order of operations. You start at the top and you go down. So you always start with parentheses, whatever's in parentheses, then do the exponents, and then multiply and divide. These can be done at the same time. You can do divides first or multiplies, as long as it's done at the same level. Same thing with add and subtract. These are the things you both do at the end. You don't have to do add first and subtract. You can mix up the orders. We kind of abbreviate this as PEMDAS. So PEMDAS, you might see this or heard this word. That's just the order of operations, PEMDAS. So let's take this example here. Let's simplify it. Order of operations says that I must do the parentheses first. And this 6 minus 2 is in parentheses. So 6 minus 2 is going to be 4. I'm going to write 4, and this will change to 4 cubed divided by 2. And what did I do first? I did parentheses. So I'm writing down what I did on the side. Parentheses. The second step, well, I did parentheses. Let's do the exponents. So this is a cube. This 3 stands for cubed. So 4 to the third power, 4 cubed, is 4 times 4 times 4, which is 4 times 4. So that's 4 times 4 times 4. Let's put that note here. 4 times 4 times 4. Well, 4 times 4 is 16, times another 4 is going to be 64. So this is going to change to 64 divided by 2. I did the exponent second. And the last step, multiply and divide. Multiply and divide, I have a division symbol right there. So I'm going to go 64 divided by 2, and 64 divided by 2 is 32. So I divided. And that's my answer, 32. This is the simplified form. We broke it down to just one number. No more operations. Let's do another one. This is a little bit different. It's 2 to the 4th minus 1 divided by 5. We don't have order of operation. We don't have parentheses here, but here's what goes on. When you're dividing, and it's a fraction like this, do the top and bottom separately. So on the bottom, we don't have to do anything. It's 5. On the top, let's just worry about the top first. So 2 to the 4th minus 1. Well, we have no parentheses, but we do have an exponent. So 2 to the 4th, this part will equal 2 to the 4th power is going to be a 2 times 2 times 2 times 2. 2 times 2 is 4. So this becomes 4 times 2 times 2 is 4. So 4 times 4 is 16. So this becomes 16 minus 1 over 5. Now, second step is, well, we have no exponents. Well, we did the exponents. Multiply and divide on the top? No, we don't have those. But we do have an add subtract. We have a subtract. 16 minus 1 is 5, or 15. So 15 divided by 5. Now you're done here, but you got to see if you can simplify it. When you have a fraction of 15 divided by 15, you can reduce both of those, and we can divide the top and bottom by 5. So divide it by 5 over 5. What's going to happen here is this becomes a fraction 3 over 1, or you can write that as just 3. So the best answer is 3. Next, simplifying again, just another example. Are there parentheses? No. Are there exponents? Yep. It's going to be 4 squared. So 4 squared becomes 16. So rewriting this, 5 times 7 minus 16 divided by 2. And we did the exponent. Okay, so we're done with exponents. Let's go to multiply and divide. Well, we have a multiply and a divide. Which one should we do first? Doesn't matter. Let's just choose to do the divide first. Why not? 16 divided by 2, that is going to be 8. So I'm going to rewrite this as 5 times 7 minus 8. And I did a divide. And the next one, well, I got to do this multiply. So the 5 times 7 is going to be 35. 35 minus 8, and we multiplied. Now last step, we're done with multiplies. Let's look at that add and subtract. Well, I have a subtract. 35 minus 8 is going to be 27. And I did a subtract. So my final answer is 27. Now, moving on to evaluating algebraic expressions. So we learned in the last set of notes, expressions are a math phrase that has some variables in it, at least one variable. And this example right here, well, it has x's and it has y's. So This is an algebraic expression. So to evaluate that, what that means is we're going to plug in numbers for those variables and see what it comes out to. So what is the value of the expression for x equals 5 and y equals 2? What this means is we're going to substitute 5 in for x, and we're going to substitute 2 in for y. I'm going to use a different color there. I'm going to use brown. Brown for y. So let's substitute this 5 first and write this example down. 5 for this x and 5 for this x. So both of these x's need to be turned into 5s. So I'm going to rewrite this as 5 squared. Instead of x squared, now we have 5 squared. Now we go plus, instead of x, we go plus 5. This minus 12, nothing changes, there's no variables, minus 12. And we're going to divide by, well, we got y squared. What's y? Y equals 2, so it's going to be 2 squared. Now, we just have to follow our order of operations. So going back to PEMDAS, well, we don't have parentheses, but we do have exponents, and we have 2 of them. It doesn't matter which one we do first. I'm going to choose the first one. 5 squared is 25. So I'm going to write 25 plus 5 minus 12 divided by 2 squared. And I did an exponent. Second step, we got another exponent, and 2 squared is going to be 4. So it's 25 plus 5 minus 12 divided by 4. Another exponent. Now next step, I don't have exponents, but I have a multiply and divide. I do have a divide. So what I'm going to do is do 12 divided by 4, which becomes 3. So it's 25 plus 5 minus 3. And this was a divide. And in the next step, we don't have any more multiply divides, but we do have add and subtract. Which one do you want to do first? Again, doesn't matter. I'll do 5 minus 3 first. So 5 minus 3 becomes 2. Actually, let's have some fun. Let's do it both ways. I'm going to do this over here. I'm going to write 25 plus 5 minus 3. On the left, I'm going to do the minus first. So 5 minus 3 becomes 2. And 25 plus 2, and that's going to come out to 27. What if I did the plus 5 first? Well, 25 plus 5, that comes out to 30. And so you have 30 minus 3, and that also comes out to 27. So both our answers are the same thing. It doesn't matter which order, if you did the plus or the minus first. Evaluating algebraic expressions again. So we're plugging in x, 5 in for x, and y, and 2 in for y. So let's plug those in first. X plus y squared divided by x times y. So plugging these in, I'm going to plug in, I'll keep those parentheses around. So I'm going to plug in, we're going to plug in a 5 for x, and when it's xy, this means 5, you're multiplying here, so I'm going to do a 5 times and 2 for y. So 5 times 2 squared, divided by, and do parentheses again, 5 times the 2. Alright, order of operations, parentheses, let's do inside those parentheses first. So 5 times 2 is going to be 10 squared, divided by 5 times 2. I did my first parentheses. Now I'll do my second one. 10 squared divided by 5 times 2 is 10. Next step, I do my exponents. So these are both parentheses. Let's keep labeling this. So parentheses on both. The next step is we have exponents. 10 squared becomes 100. 10 times 10 is 100. So 100 divided by 10, and we did an exponent. In the last step, we got a divide here. So 100 divided by 10 will be 10. And this is divide. So my final answer is 10. Here's an example. I want you to try this. I'm going to pause. 2, 1. And let's go over this answer. So we're evaluating for x equals 3 and y equals 4. First example right here. I'm going to plug in 3 for x. This becomes 3 squared plus 2 times 3 for x again is 3 plus y is 4. Now following my order of operations, I do parentheses first. 3 plus 4 is 7. So instead of 2 plus the parentheses, or times the parentheses, it's 2 times 7. So 3 squared plus 2 times 7, and we did the parentheses. The next one, order of operations says exponent, so 3 squared, 3 times 3 is 9, plus 2 times 7. And we did exponent. Your next step, multiply, divide. This dot means multiply, so 2 times 7, that is going to equal 14. So 9 plus 14. We did multiply. And 9 plus 14, the last step we have to do is we have to add, and that adds up to 23. And we added. So there's your answer, 23. Over on the right, plugging in 3 and 4, so you get 3 times 4 cubed. That's to the third power. So order of operations inside the parentheses first. 3 times 4 is 12. So we have 12 cubed. So we did parentheses. Now your next step and last one is exponents. What's 12 to the third power? Well, that's 12 times 12 times 12. 12 times 12 is 144. That's from your times table. We're multiplying by another 12, so I'm just going to do the work because I don't know that by my head. I got to work this out just like you would. 2 times 4 is 8. 2 times 4 is 8. 2 times 1 is 2. I'm going to drop down a 0 and start with this 1. 1 times 4 is 4. 1 times 4 is 4. 1 times 1 is 1. We add these up, and they add up to 8. 8 plus 4 is 12. Carry a 2. 1 plus 2 is 3. Plus 4 is 7. And drop down a 1. So the final answer is 1,728. That is what it evaluates to. And we're done.